Good morning, guys. It's about time I get a certain review done. So we're going to jump right into it. Alright, we're looking at the Sebenza 25 here. Had this for a bunch of months now, maybe 4 or 5 months. Never got around to it. Never really used it a lot. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with this here. But that is all stuff aside. Let's get right into it. That should be in frame. Right off the bat, guys, it's a Chris Reeve knife, so it's quality. It feels very nice. It's very quality looking. You can tell it's a Sebenza. The design change didn't go too crazy. It's a CRK, guys. It's nice. The lockup is solid. It's very smooth. Yada yada yada. We all know this crap, right? What's different? Right off the bat, you can see the handles are different. And I know there's a million videos that went into this, so I'm going to just skim over this pretty quick. Handles different. Got that extra choil right there. So it's just a little different ergonomically. With that being said, though, it's fantastic ergonomically. I love how the little hump for the jimping is in front of the finger choils for the fingers. It's a real natural, comfortable position for my hand and my thumb. And then the other large difference, and I didn't think it'd be that large. I thought it was kind of just a gimmick, which it may be, but I like it, is if you can tell, the blade isn't as much of a hollow grind. He calls it this new, I kind of forget what terminology he uses, but basically it's a mix between a flat grind and a hollow grind. It's essentially just a very shallow hollow grind. And I like this blade shape better than the 21s. A bunch, actually. It really gives you a sturdier feeling blade. You really don't feel like that there's shoulders that can get in the way too much anymore. It's a smoother transition, and because of that, I have more confidence in its slicing ability. It just feels a little more rough, and it's a little bit more of a rough and tough knife. Just the feel. Some people have said that the S35 for the blade steel, basically for this knife, Reeve has increased the hardness, although he's not saying he did. I'll let all those other guys get into that. I'm just passing on the message. It is incredibly smooth. D10's great, just like always. Right there. Flicking ability is always good. This too, so let's go into some of the differences of this knife. Why am I making this video? What's different? Well, the difference here is, the knife's on ceramic. It's a ceramic ball instead of, titanium to steel, which probably doesn't wear as much, or won't wear, but it's not, for me, it's not good or bad. It is what it is. I prefer, just for feel, the lock face against the steel. The ceramic ball, it's unique, it's interesting, but if I had to choose, I would pick the steel. The regular lock face against the steel. That's just my opinion for how the lockup feels. It feels very solid, obviously no wiggle, but I just for some reason, I like the way the other one feels. That's that. But, so let's go into ergonomics a little bit. What makes this knife feel so good? So one, the blade's a little thicker. Let's get that out of the way. But right here you can see all the jimps, the cuts, the flats. It's supposed to make it very, ergonomic, good feeling in the hand. And it does. As I showed you before, this really wraps right around, let your fingers get in there. One thing that if he did this on purpose, good for him, and I'm sure he did, this lock bar is over quite a bunch. Where the ceramic ball's contacting is over here. And this is on basically every 25 I've seen. This is basically how far over it is. Basically putting the lock bar right in the center of the blade. If you look at the blade, right in line with that is the lock bar. There's a deep cutout in that lock bar. And it gets pretty thin here, which I thought would be very uncomfortable. But it turns out that that really nestles in the joint of your finger right here very well. Does not make it uncomfortable at all. And because it's right in the center, it really fits in. It centers the knife well in your hand. So, I mean, this is just an ergonomically fantastic feeling knife. Very comfortable, very ergonomic. Love it. Good feeling knife. Cutting through some stuff, like I said, the transition from edge to shoulders, smoother. I feel like that helps out with the cutting ability. Another thing, if you look at the geometry, sorry about the pause. If you notice, the geometry here is a little different than on a regular 21. I don't have one to compare it to at the moment, but it feels different. Whereas if I remember right, a regular 21, you're kind of opening out, up. There's something just the way the dimensions between the thumb stud and the pivot. Here, it opens much more like a Umnumzan, honestly. That's what I feel. If I want to flick this knife out, you can, and I could just do it just by pushing straight up. Straight up works. Whereas I feel like with the 21, you had to push out. But straight up works. So I just feel that he changed the geometry a little bit. He changed, the way the lock interfaces, the handle. Overall, I actually like this better than the 21, in my personal opinion. It's a solid knife. I have no idea, nor do I think it'll affect, the knife too much. I'm talking about the, the ceramic ball versus the TI to steel. I don't know. I wouldn't abuse this thing to the point to find out, really. I'm not that hard on my knives in the sense of using them for non-knife purposes. I don't use my knives too much like a pry bar. So, with that being said, guys, I think this is a fantastic knife. It's something that if you're a Reeve fan, you should definitely try out. It is different enough, absolutely, from a 21 to validate getting, for at least to try it. These things are fairly liquid purchases or investments, if you want to say. Not that it's going to go up in value, but if you don't like it, you can get rid of it. It's worth a shot. I really enjoy it. I hope he makes a small version of this. I hope he makes all the micarta he does make the micarta versions of this, which look not as good as the other one. The micarta is kind of like oddly shaped. It has a little curve to it. Doesn't take up as much of the titanium as it used to. So I don't think it looks quite as nice, but I think this knife in general. Before I couldn't own a 21, I could not own a plain 21. Just the plain TI bored the shit out of me. Did not like it. But here, it's different looking. I can handle it, and I like it. Another thing I really like about this, the new blade shape. It's slightly different. It's a little more aggressive looking. Almost like a shark, in my opinion. The jimping's better. Double lugs are standard. I feel it is an improvement. In my opinion, I wouldn't have the ceramic ball lockup, but I'm sure he's doing it for a reason. Alright guys, this is almost 10 minutes already. So, that's about it. That's my say on this thing. It is different enough to validate getting. One thing that I don't understand, here, this little mini choil to put your finger up in here, and maybe if your hands are larger than mine, it makes a difference, but from here to here, to make that comfortable, there's a gap. And if you want to really choke up on it and do some serious work, this is going to start to bother you. For light work, it doesn't matter. You can really choke up on it and get in here. And really don't even have to squeeze with this finger. But my point is that it's clear to me that he designed the knife to be held like this. So why is this still here? For something like that, I don't know. Why is this still here? Maybe to choke up, but honestly, this is how the knife, in my opinion, was designed to be held. 2 fingers right there, and then you still have this gap. Why not bring that down a little bit? Maybe he didn't just feel like redesigning it that much. I don't know. Either way, it's not a big deal. It's ergonomically awesome right there. So that's it, guys. It's a good knife. I think it's worth giving it a shot. That's about it, alright? So you guys take care. That's my thoughts on the 25, 5 months in the making. But yeah, catch you guys on the next one.